temperatures are cooling off, but the sun is still shining, and that makes for perfect football weather in the city of Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium. Today we've got a fun AFC matchup on tap, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
Here's Michael Badgley now to get this one started.
And with the terrible towels waving wildly, we are underway from Pittsburgh. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
Almost certainly a future Hall of Famer, and he's still seeking the storybook ending to his career. But he had patience, looked around, took his time before choosing his team, and boy, are they glad that he did, because he still has a lot of juice left despite being 41 years old. Finishing the top 10 in passing yards last season with nearly 4,000 yards and touchdowns as well with 28.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team deep in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, the Steelers call on Corliss Waitman to punt.
Taken from just outside the 30. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And he gets a clean slate and a competition in his new spot in Indianapolis. Obviously trying to eliminate some bad habits he picked up in New York. But after a brief pit stop in Minnesota, this gives him a chance to continue the trend of veteran quarterbacks who have a chance to excel with a fresh start and a new team.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 2.
Throwing, Jones.
That's caught. It's Josh Downs.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
And the Colts, first down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Now Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the option to give to Taylor here.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot, versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Broken up that time by Joey Porter Jr.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Michael Badgley on for the field goal. A 50-yard attempt.
Badgley's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. Well, now how about this return?
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Now 2nd and 5. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd and 5. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. 36 yards.
And the Steelers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a 1st quarter lead.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3.
Colts 3.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Oh, able to avoid him.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
They'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
A gain of 14. First down, Indianapolis.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
From the 43, here's a second down and 9.
They go to the ground again with Taylor.
And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on third down, Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
A gain of
9 yards that time.
And the Colts.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10.
Open man, the tight end Warren.
That'll give him 8 that time. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Colts, first down.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Jones.
This one completes Alec Pierce.
And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. They turn to Taylor on fourth. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they go to work on a first and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now.
That's good hard running right there on first and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Jones will try and run with it.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think his big boys up front, that offensive line, they've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. He's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown.
Josh Downs.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Colts are once again back in front. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, yeah, give him credit. Found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7.
Makes the score Colts 10.
That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Aaron Rodgers in the offense heading back out. He had the touchdown pass last time they had it. And they'll start here with a 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Got his man. It's Warren.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Yards. That's good for a Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. On play action, Rodgers. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Grover Stewart, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Working from the gun, Rodgers.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Rodgers going to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all.
And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
For the field goal, a 53-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a three-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Here's Rodgers. Completes it to Austin. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's another Steelers first down. First and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
And down here, first and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Rodgers again now. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Now Rodgers. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin from 10 yards out. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Boswell for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that one a 13-play drive in total.
And in the end, a Calvin Austin touchdown grab finished the drive off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On second and 11 now. Jones looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
That's good for a Colts. First down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
What's going on, guys?
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Looking to throw. Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That is caught. Michael Pittman with it.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Colts, first down. First and goal, Indianapolis.
So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
They'll run the jet sweep here with Pierce.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Back to throw. Jones. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now Jones. Going to throw on third and goal. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. This will be spotted at the 20, so it's a 30-yard attempt. Badgley able to knock this one through. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime.
Throwing is Rodgers.
Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Someone moved, flag is out, that's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
A 4-receiver set here, 3rd and 5.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
Now he's going to step up and run.
Rodgers sliding to a stop with a first down. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number
1. First down. 1st and 10.
So a tight one so far, 1-point game at the break as we check in with Scott Hansen at our halftime report. Scott.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome into the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you on an abridged halftime report. Good competitive first half. This game kind of has a punch-counterpunch feel to it, as reflected on the scoreboard. Tight game going into the second half. Can either team pull away? To find out, let's go back to the stadium and our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half.
Chris Boswell.
The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3.
Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
They juked him.
Now he's loose at the 40. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. 84 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Jones.
A short one there, caught by Warren.
Will go down as a gain of 6. And 3rd and 8 now.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on third down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped him for no gain.
Michael Badgley on for the field goal. A 49-yard attempt.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And they have regained the lead. Now, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
On play action. Now Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
That's good for us Steelers.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. On the run, it's Warren. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Running left, it's Warren. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Warren taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in this third quarter. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a third quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it, and it's now a 21-16 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
He lost 6 there on the first down play.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Throwing Jones.
To the right side and intercepted. Picked up by Joey Porter Jr.
And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here.
Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will, 1st and 10. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd and 2, 1st down marker at the 8.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Throwing now is Rodgers. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
DK Metcalf
From 10 yards out.
And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Boswell for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead.
Makes the score. Steelers.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Jones. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And the Colts, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply the offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Taylor. Ooh, with a juke. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
122 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
1st and goal, Indianapolis.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
In motion goes the tight end. They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. On 2nd and goal, Jones.
Pass caught right side by Taylor.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. Badgley's kick is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the made field goal, Badgley back out there for the kickoff. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
To throw is Rodgers. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, that is incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Colts offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jones. A short one there, caught by Warren. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
A gain of 29
Well, every
yards.
drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try to...
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. Jones pushes past him, and he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
And this is going to be recovered by a member of the offense, but whistles come in. Remember, on 4th down, that becomes a dead ball if anyone other than the fumbler himself recovers. So it'll come back to the spot of the fumble, and that will mean that's going to wind up being a turnover on downs.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. But they can thank their defense for another stop, and now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock, work it down, and of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line. And that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. They run behind center with Gainwell.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's good for a Steelers first down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
They toss it to Warren.
Nice little juke.
And able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's 2nd down.
4 yards on the
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You taking charge.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
7-yard gain.
7 yards there and a first down.
First down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold them up. Second, third guy in, break at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as he's down to the 12.
12-yard line.
Rodgers now to throw. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball. And they...
Touchdown! 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers. And the Steelers have extended their lead to 15 now here in the 4th. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Here comes Rodgers now as he'll go for the 2-point conversion.
The Steelers will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Rodgers will throw for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
That's complete to Pierce. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 50-yard
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That complete to Downs.
A 7-yard gain. And the Colts first down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
Jones. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Here's Jones. He'll get this one to Pittman.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? You go with a bigger guy to try and use size. Can't try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with a slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6. Jones. That is caught. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. As this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
26.
So with an even 30 seconds to go, everything will come down to this onside kick. And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
So it's a win here for the Steelers. Yeah, we've said it so many times in the past, but it was Aaron Rodgers, CD, who really led the way.
Yeah, sometimes you just have those games where everything's clicking, and this was one of those days. He wound up with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. He was large and in charge all day long.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.